is not going to end well. Something tells me when Cardi B gets wind that BIA mentioned her kids in her new diss track, she is not going to be here for it. Now, we all know that Cardi B does not play about kids. Imagine her acting lightly to BIA mentioning her kids in her newest diss track. If you guys don't know, BB is a stepmom to many, but she has two biological children. Her oldest daughter's name is Culture, and her youngest son's name is Wave. I want to go ahead and get into the clip where BIA name drops Cardi B's kids here.
Say you love yourself, but you won't put that on your kids. All that surgery and how your body looks so mid. Like for the culture, you just try to ride the wave. You should be home with your kids. Speak like second grade.
Okay, now we all know that BIA is a writer and she's very intentional about the words that she penned. So we know that she mentioned them on purpose and she knew that she was mentioning them. BB is literally gonna flip her lid when she hears this. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you guys feel like BIA took it too far by name dropping Cardi's kids? It is a rap beef. There are no rules. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments. Peace.
And it definitely did not age well, because Cardi responded with a diss track to BIA that is called Pretty and Petty. So I guess we learned from this episode that Cardi does not play with her kids. Even if you diss her in 2021, she's gonna respond to you intentfully so, at her pace. And I think it's gonna hit a lot more than it did before. So then, now that's out of the way, let's stitch. I love stitching.
Now that I think about it, does BIA even have 5 songs? Hell, does she even have 3? So I am currently in the middle of reviewing the full album. However, I think that Pretty and Petty needs its own video. We have to dissect this. So first of all, imagine thinking that you got away with talking about somebody's daughter. Imagine thinking that you got away with speaking on someone's child just for them to turn around and dedicate a full song to you. And you can't say that it's not for you because your name was called multiple times. 3 minutes and 3 seconds of whack after whack after whack after whack. First of all, my girl wasted no time getting straight to it. She said, no small talk, bitch. To open the verse with name 5 BIA songs, gun to your head. And to include the gunshot of you getting shot. You don't know 5 BIA songs. My girl's taking it. And it was at that moment that I knew that this was going to be a fucking massacre. Every time that I pray, I thank God I'm not you. Whack. Who she even got a BET award? Whack. Because how do you not have a BET award, Sister Cat? Even Blue Ivy Carter has a BET award. She said your mother used to fuck white men. Disgusting. Because yeah, disgusting. Oh my gosh, BIA, you should have just shut the fuck up. You shouldn't have talked about her daughter. And she did pose a question that I fear we do need an answer to, BIA. Why were you always at Diddy's house? I am sure that BIA is not going to respond to this because why the fuck would you? I don't know. I would just fucking disappear from the face of the earth. Like, oh my gosh, I love mess. And Cardi delivered the mess straight to my front door.
And I think if she just kept it strictly beef, leave the kids out of it. But at the same time, there's no rules in a rap battle, Just, you need to be armed and you need to be prepared for what you're going into, so that when things don't go your way, you literally just know what to do. Because without that structure, without a proper footing, then you're going to set up yourself for failure and you're going to have yourself to blame. We all know that Cardi does not play with her kids. We all know that she loves her kids very much and she will do anything for her kids. And I think that saying that kids are off limits is just one fact that should remain in the books. Because if I mention your child right now, I'm going to be the bad person. I'm gonna be the bad person. I'm gonna be someone who is disrespectful, somebody who's going to be very important. I'm joking, but somebody who's just gonna ride the wave, I guess. So BIA had it coming unfortunately for her, I checked the page and she's moving about her day. And obviously, the fans are trolling her. And it's not like she hasn't seen those comments. I mean, she has seen them and chose not to reply. And it's interesting how the comments in that video are getting more likes than her actual video. When people came to her page and were saying, "Oh, is this the beer Cardi is talking about?" And it's so interesting. It's so funny, really. But hey, she had to come back. I hope now it's fair and square. It's crushed. No more beefs. No more silly fights. Okay. Like, let me know what you think, guys. Like, do you think this beef is necessary? Like, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Like, I'm curious to know.
Now, Cardi B sits down with the Breakfast Club as she explains why her diss track to Bia was important because she put that on her kids. Now, Cardi B explains to the Breakfast Club that no, she's not taking the high road.
You mentioned my kids trying to be cute. There's gonna be times that like people throw shots at you, or like there's gonna be times like like when she did her little diss and it was trash. Like it's like it could have been trash. People dragged you, and I could have leave it at that. But it's like everything on social media is gonna be seen. So when my kids grow up one day and they see that you mentioned them, and then they're gonna ask me like, so what you said, what you did. I'm not gonna tell my kids like, I just felt like she took the high road because she lost because people wasn't on her side. And no, I'm not saying that to my kids. I'm like, you see how I violated, and it's more. You know what it is? I feel like last year every artist was like beefing.
Girl.
Like every artist was beefing, and I think she was gonna get a moment out of that because she thought that I was copying her. And I had a conversation with her. First, we was cursing each other out. Then I had a real conversation with her, and I was like, listen, I'm not copying you. I don't even look at you. Like, you're not a person that I look at or I'm inspired by.
Now, you guys heard what Cardi B said. Like, although no one paid Bia's diss track to Cardi B no mind, Cardi B said, well, I have to say something back because in the future, when my kids ask, I want to make sure that they know I violated this woman. Now, after explaining how she essentially violated Bia, Cardi B also explains that it wasn't just about the diss track. This woman was literally trying to break up my home.
You was really trying to even mess things up in my home. And it's like, damn, you hated on me so much. You hated on me so much. And I kept saying, like, it's like, prove it. Prove it. Show me a text. Show me when I flirted. Because when I'm loyal, I'm very loyal. Like, I don't text. I don't flirt. I don't even look at people in the eye.
Now, Cardi.
Because I don't even want you thinking that I even like you. And you was doing all that shit. And it's like, I got you. And it's like, and I know it was confirmed that it was her that was going around with that rumor. Because when she did her diss, she kept saying like, oh, why say how you like a cheater, some shit like that. I forgot what she was saying, but it's like, so say who I was dealing with. Say it. Oh, you just made that up.
Now, in the second portion of her interview, she also discusses her other diss track, but she doesn't put a name on it. But people put two and two together.
This is really minor. Like, are you sure? And it's like, you know what? That was stupid. And then they gave me flowers, literally flowers, and I was pregnant too with my son. Gave me flowers and everything. Then months later, I found out you fucked this nigga.
Oh, God. Now, I encourage you to watch the full interview because Cardi B was telling the full tea.
Oh, and by the way, me and all my homegirls hate your tats. Really do. We talked about it. Yeah, we put it in the chat. We think you look dirty all the time, even after the bath.
If you have been wondering what the hell is going on between Cardi B and Bia and why Cardi B just dragged Bia to filth, I got you. I'm gonna break it down for you in just a few minutes. And if you've been following me for a minute, then you know I briefly talked about this last summer, but I feel like given the circumstances, we absolutely need to revisit this. Now, Bia, if you do not know, she's that girl who sings a song, "It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker," and it went viral on TikTok like 4.5 years ago. Now, something people fail to realize is that Bia used to be a Cardi fan, like die hard. She used to tweet at Cardi B all the time. This is important because it was things like this: her congratulating Cardi B, her asking Cardi B for features. Here she's congratulating her for Bodak Yellow going diamond in 2021. Cardi B ends up quote retweeting it and she's like, "Thank you, love your work, keep killing them." So very nice response. And then even here, you can see BIA asking Cardi B to do some Spanish rap shit together. Now, this tweet actually came out, like she tweeted this after Whole Lot of Money was already out. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, Whole Lot of Money comes out mid-May 2021 and it goes super viral, mostly because of TikTok. July 2021, BIA collabs with Nicki Minaj on the Whole Lot of Money remix, and the day after the song drops, they go live on Instagram. And what do you know? That same day, all the tweets BIA had ever made towards Cardi B, they get deleted. This is important and we'll come back to it in a second. Fast forward a few years, March 2023, BIA is live on TikTok and a fan asked her about beef with Cardi B, and she basically says, I don't have beef with Cardi because I do not know her. It's all love. Cardi never responds. A couple months later, in July, BIA drops the song Fallback, which people think she shades Cardi B in because part of the lyrics in that song say, I'm having no beef, these bitches won't say my name. Now, BIA then goes to drop a song called I'm That Bitch, where she samples Missy Elliott's She's That Bitch. Now, BIA's song came out in 2023. In 2024, Cardi B drops the Like What freestyle. It's a song where she's like a Coach bag, baby, this ain't what you want. That song also samples Missy Elliott's She's a Bitch. Now, Twitter stands immediately start noticing the similarities between the songs, which they sample the same song, so of course they're gonna sound somewhat similar. But they also go to Twitter and they start saying that BIA is on Cardi's mood board, and this is where BIA kind of fucks up because she responds with the little cringy faces. She could have chosen to not say anything, but she did, right? Cardi B goes to Twitter and she subs BIA by saying, bitches make a fool of themselves every single time. I'm gonna show you something when I release this song though. Just a month later, BIA then drops another song where she shades Cardi B again and she says, I hear bitches poppin' shit and that's so funny to me. How you say you running down but you can't walk on the beat. She also even says something along the lines of like, I can never turn my phone on just to cry on live, which is referencing like the times that Cardi B would go on Instagram Live to cry about her breakup with Offset since they were on and off for a little while. Now, May 2024, Cardi B is featured on the song Wannabe with Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion, and her verse is crazy. She name drops BIA. She says, guess I'm a teacher since you want to sub me, like subtweet me. She says she did what, had no idea, thought she was on the shelf IKEA, meaning she hadn't been putting nothing out. She was tucked away somewhere, right? She says, bitch, please, don't nobody want to be ya. Cardi comes for BIA's looks. She says, cheap looking ass hoe, weak looking ass hoe, great value me looking ass hoe. They do look a little similar. And then she says, delete every tweet looking ass hoe, meaning Cardi knows BIA deleted all those tweets where she was praising her. Cardi B gets on Instagram Live at one point and someone asked her about BIA, to which she goes on to respond that she doesn't get why BIA thinks that she's copying her when in reality she doesn't like BIA's music, she doesn't like her style. She's like, I don't even see her. She also mentions that after she noticed BIA had been subtweeting her, she actually called BIA on the phone and that they had a really productive conversation and that they left that conversation with a better understanding of each other. And yet, immediately after the phone call, BIA went back to subbing Cardi B. In that live, she also slightly threatens to sue BIA for lying about Cardi B allegedly cheating on Offset, which BIA did in one of her previous disses to Cardi B. And just the next day, BIA drops the song Sue Me. And in that song is where you have that very infamous clip that I played for y'all at the beginning, where she's like, we don't even like your tats. You look dirty even after the bath. It was very lukewarm. In that song, BIA even says, bitch, you're not for the culture. You just trying to ride the wave. Both of Cardi B's kids' names, Culture and Wave. She even in that song goes on to ask Cardi B if she's battling with her or is she battling with Pardison Fontaine, the rapper slash songwriter who, you know, works really closely with Cardi B, and B is alleging that he's ghostwriting for her. Now, Cardi B would go on Twitter and she would say that she was going to get all these bitches back, but that she was going to do it on her own time. And she did not lie. And that's how we get here, Cardi B's song Pretty and Petty on her latest album, Am I the Drama? And this song is 100% a BIA diss track. And to start off this song by saying name 5 BIA songs, pew pew point into your head, bow, I'm dead, is hilarious. It's iconic. It's diabolical. Cardi goes on to say, BIA, you a fake ghetto bitch and I don't like you. And honestly, this is my favorite part of the entire song, where she says, you from Boston, let's have a little tea party, which is an amazing double entendre. Like, yes, she's talking about the Boston Tea Party, but she's also talking about like, let's share each other's tea since you want to do that so bad. She asks, why'd you get kicked out of that condo? Why you always at Diddy's house? I heard they combed that little kitty out. And down here, she even calls her diarrhea BIA. Breath so stank you can smell her before you see her. Now, that's the entire rundown on BIA and Cardi B's beef. Now, if I was BIA, I would be submitting Dollar Tree applications expeditiously. But Cardi came for everybody's necks when she put out this album. She does not only talk about BIA, she talks about Nicki Minaj, she talks about JT, she talks about Offset, and I'm gonna make some follow-up videos where we're gonna go through some of the lyrics in some of the songs and kind of talk about who she's referring to or shading. But like I said, I think this is where the beef ends. Even if BIA were to drop a diss track like 10 minutes from now, I just don't think that you can come back from that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.